Hi, welcome back. So I'm now 3,000 miles in and 2 months. It's also my 5th year anniversary of driving electric vehicles. So what do I think of the MG ZS EV so far? Well, overall I love it. It's very good, it's pretty comfortable most of the time. It does give me a slight backache in the lumbar region on long journeys. So as I mentioned in a previous video, I use a blow-up cushion just in the lumbar region to give me support. The range I'm seeing from the car at this time of year is typically 137 miles on the GOM or guessometer, which is surprisingly accurate when you're in normal and with the heating on, which is how I drive the car all the time. Sport mode, it gives you a lot more instant acceleration as soon as you touch the throttle, but apart from that, normal mode seems to suit me fine with my style of driving. I'm struggling to get any more than about 3.4 miles per kilowatt hour at this time of year. However, when it was cold a few days ago, the GOM only showed 132 mile range, and by the time I got home after doing about 120 miles, including 14 miles left with 10% remaining, so the GOM is pretty accurate. So I'm quite pleased with that. The challenge with this time of year is keeping the car clean, as you can see from the photos that I will attach here. The back of the car is the worst to be hit. Handling wise, it's on the comfortable side. Chassis control is pretty poor as far as I'm concerned, and it does bounce and kangaroo around quite a bit. I am looking to change that at some point. Other than that, I love this sunroof. It's really nice. Even on a dull day like today, it's just nice and light and airy. It makes the car feel great. I did have a problem with the window tinting on the rear window, but as the tinting has a 10-year guarantee, I took it back, they removed it and fixed it and got rid of all the bubbles or whatever it was that was causing the problems in the back window. So I'm very happy about that. There's lots of nifty things within the car. For instance, there's a couple of slots, and I'll just show it to you here. 2 credit card slots. Okay, so those 2 credit card slots are great for putting in RFID cards, or in my case, my Polar card and my National Trust card. There's lots of little thoughtful things like a left footrest. On the steering wheel, we have the star button. What I've done with the star button, what I've done is set it up under car, and then comfort and convenience, and then other, and you have the option here of selecting several different options. So you've got the car, which is the button I use to access this whole screen, home, which will be the 3 coloured Android Auto, Apple CarPlay navigation screens, and you can have it to your smartphone. So I set it up to my car because when I'm out on the road, I always drive with speed assist mode in manual. Another issue we have when starting up the car is the radio volume. So what I have done is I went into setup, audio, went to EQ settings, I created a custom preset, and I put everything down at -12. So when I turn the car on, it is all very low sound. It's almost inaudible. Okay, so this is the navigation screen. This is where I am currently in Ashdown Forest. But what I'm here to show you is the things at the top here. So when I turn the heater down, it goes to white when it's in the middle, and then when I turn it into the blue zone, it goes blue. So let's turn it back up. I typically have it on about 2 to 3 dots. Air conditioning on, that star goes green. Turn it off, that's the recirculation button. Back to fresh air. So this icon at the top is showing screen and feet, and so if I cycle through them, it's now showing just feet. Now it's showing face and feet. Now it's showing face only. Now it's showing screen only. and now it's back to face and feet. So these controls here, all I've been doing is just pushing this button here. If I do that one, it does exactly the same. So it doesn't matter which of these two buttons you use, they both cycle through. I have fitted a screen protector. I've not quite finished it off yet. It's a paper-like one which I had spare left over from my iPads. I just need to trim it in this corner to make it sit properly. But it is anti-reflective, so it doesn't reflect anywhere near as much as the original screen does. So back to the car. As I said earlier on, it's pretty comfortable, apart from the suspension when you hit potholes and the road is quite sort of very undulating surface and it bounces all over the place, which can be a bit disconcerting at the times. Whereas another car might just crash and bang, this tends to kangaroo around a little bit. But apart from that, and most of the time it is absolutely fine and I don't have a problem with it. I do prefer it to be on the comfortable side, whereas my Leaf before was a little bit crashy. One thing which is really nice is the A-pillars. You can actually see past them. This one here in particular on the Leaf was appalling, but this is quite a lot narrower than the Leaf one. I mean, it's still big, but it's acceptable. The other thing which is quite annoying is that reflection of the air vent. And the car seems to heat up very quickly. A couple of days ago it was really frosty and the car was quite heavily frosted up, even in the southeast of England. Just sitting in the car for about 2 or 3 minutes was enough to defrost the car. I was able to get out of the car and just wipe the side windows so I could see out, just with an ordinary sort of window squeegee thing. It doesn't seem to impact range in my experience. It told me what the mileage was at the beginning, which was 132 miles, and as I said earlier on, at the end of the day I'd done 120 miles with 14 left on the GOM and 10% when I plugged it in, which is perfectly adequate. I've now just moved over to Octopus's Agile tariff, so I should be able to charge the car quite cheaply at night. Today I installed my dash cam. I'd already put it in as a temporary measure 2 months ago when I bought the car, but I'd never actually done the hardwire install. It was surprisingly easy. It's an X-Base 522 GW camera. I went and bought the hardwire kit from Halfords. The kit comes with everything you need. Basically, I just ran the cable down from the mirror, put it underneath the headlining and just prized open the A-pillars, and then just push the cable in behind the trim, and just by folding back the rubbers and then pushing it in. And then I took the glove box out, which was surprisingly easy. They're just a couple of plastic bungs with a key slot in the top. You just twist them 90 degrees, they come loose. You then extract them, but on both sides, and then you just pull the glove box out because it's just clipped in at the bottom. That made access to the fuse box and somewhere to put the spade terminal, just made it a lot easier. The kit comes with a piggyback fuse. I just took out the top 15 amp fuse, put that into the piggyback, and then pushed that into where the 15 amp came from. And then I just tidied up the cables, put everything back. The dash cam, I just undid the 3M tape and put camera where I wanted it positioned, and just connected up the cables, and everything worked fine. I mean, it was a very quick job, very simple to do. So if you're thinking of doing it yourself, I can definitely recommend the X-Base cameras. Very easy to deal with. Just in case you're interested in the lighting in here, the lighting up there is just my LEDs that I fitted, that I had lying around for a long time. I bought them about 5 years ago, and they're just, I think they're W5Ws. They are got the LEDs on the ends, they're pointing down, which lights up the car much better than ones that are mounted on the sides. And down here I've just got my iPad with my notes, but it also gives me a little bit of extra light. to light up my face so I can see and you can see me. If you've enjoyed my video, please hit the like button and please subscribe. So that's all for today, folks.